I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is June 25th, Wednesday, 2025. I hope you had a good day, good week. I've been gone since about the 11th to 12th now, or something like that. And wonderful vacation. Needed that reset. I recommend everybody do that as well. You know, especially in the summertime, we're gonna have some choppy price action most likely, but maybe a push off in July here. But in general speaking, it was hard to not look at the market, this and that. I did a couple times. Obviously, I think it's just healthy to just be able to, keep watching the market in general for, 10 minutes, twice a day maybe or whatever. Nothing crazy, but just so you can see how price delivers. This is probably the second or third time in my trading career that I've taken this long off. Obviously, I got married. I had a big vacation here, another vacation before, but general speaking, I want to make videos short. So if I keep doing this, otherwise, it's nice. You have everything you need in all these past videos that I've ever made. You can see how they come into imbalances, inversion imbalances, and things like that. You can see the algorithmic delivery and basic price action. You have plenty of cycles that we've went through up down from 22 all the way to the expansion in 23 and 24, and then coming back down here in 25 and pushing back up in 25 here. So very, very, very clear understanding and examples that you can go look to. So let me try to make this video short, which I know I've already made it long. The last video I made was here, was like the 11th or 10th. It wasn't the 12th. I didn't make a video on the 12th for sure. I didn't. So we were trying to get up into this daily imbalance. Look to the left here. You'll see that we have. So by the way, you should obviously be switched to NQU 2025. Obviously, this is U for the third quarter, right? Another thing I was going to say is, what's it called? Anyways, never mind. But, and then I always say when I leave, some shit pops off. And sure enough, we had some stuff go on with overseas, right? And then for the market to be up here like this and for what they're talking about, it's just so foolish. We shouldn't even be up here. But for the response to be pushed back up like that, right? This is all bullshit. So anyways, again, last video made was here. We tapped into this. If you look here, the example, one of the videos I made, I made this video on the 10th. And then this is me on the 11th reviewing the 11th, but talking about the video I made on the 10th. We were talking about jumping into, you can see that imbalance right there here. See how it's empty there? So I was talking about coming in there, and once we hit that, to come down to wipe out buyers here, and then pushing back up to then get into and seal that imbalance, right? Of the daily. And we obviously, when I left, super ugly price action. I'm so glad I didn't, have to deal with that type of shit, because this is sort of ugly, but in a sense, as you can see, we tap in here. And that imbalance is right here, which is the daily on the 21st February, right? By the way, I also marked this gap here. I did that while I was on vacation. And I switched over to the U contract. There's no bodies there. See that? So I got that also highlighted. So everything else is the same. Nothing else has changed. So I've, let me see. Yeah, all this price action was already here. All these levels were on my chart already since I did that. And when I made the example, I talked about coming back down and then pushing back up. We got that, but it's super ugly. So we pushed up here, right? We got into there. That's a new high. That's the protective high or low. That's the range, I guess you could call it, right? And what did we do on that before I left to the video? We Wednesday here. We sold off as a reversal profile, and then Thursday continued with it. Well, it pushed down and pushed back up for a lower low, lower high. It's kind of getting a leg back, right? So in a general, obviously, I'm going to make this very simple here, right? So that was the basic structure here, right? So, because even when I made the video here, like we're already in that leg. So me was coming up to finish that leg, retrace for a higher low, and push back up. And as you can see, we did that. But how does it look like? It's not the way you want it to be perfect. But as you see here, we on Thursday, which is the 2 weeks Thursday, 2 Thursdays ago, we sold off and then took out that low. We came back up for 2 higher highs in that leg from high to higher low, and then stuck underneath that daily imbalance here. And then I know it's a lot of shit on the chart, dude, but it's nothing I can do right now. And then we made another low here. See this low where it taps on the 25% of that weekly? There's not much on here. There's the weekly. There's 2 daily imbalances right there. All right. And then we have a bullish one there and a bullish one there. And there's a couple gaps down here, which you'll see. We retrace back another low here and then push back up. You think that's a break. No. No bodies here. We're tapping the high. We're just trying to squeeze the liquidity. It's another lower high to lower low, right? For the finale, which what did they do? They gapped down and they rushed for that. And ultimately, you see this guy right here. See this guy right here and this guy right here. So the gap down. And where does it go to? Well, we have these 2 gaps here. These 2 gaps are from, I'll just tell you anyway, right here. In between here, from Friday the 16th. Whoops. Oh boy, I'm already tired of making videos. The Friday the 16th and then Monday the 19th. So there's a gap in there and it's highlighted here. And then there's another one underneath it, which would be here. This Friday the 30th of May and then June 2nd. In between that right there. And they're overlapping on each other. Can you see that? You can see this, right? I don't know why it does that. But you can see right here, these 2, and then they're overlapping and they come right to it. On Monday, which is now this week we're talking about, we had 2 standard deviations down from the Asia range right here. It's coupled with that area and misses that bullish imbalance from here of May 27th, Tuesday, slightly, right? But the goal was to this low to this high as a retracement, and it just took a long time. It took literally the whole time while I was gone, right? So but that was the idea, and then from there, obviously they pushed it all the way up now to get higher into this daily imbalance that has not been sealed. Obviously, if we're up here, it ain't bearish. We've been saying bullish. So and even if you look on the macro level, yeah, I don't know. Well, looking at Nvidia, well, we just made new all-time new highs now, right? Literally. So, and we've been saying it's bullish. I mean, but again, this leg in a bullish leg, you know, these retracements are going to happen, but they're, you know, they're pretty much, it's kind of like this leg right here, right? But, yeah, ain't nothing slowing down, nothing. Just, you know, they're full of shit. But, I feel like I'm rambling here. So look at the bodies here on the 25. This weekly is very key because as you can see the bodies here, look at Monday, like damn near sitting on top. When they dropped it, the open was, well, hold on a second here. Yeah, open here, very close to that 25%. Oh my God, man. Hold on a second. Yeah. I'm making the video. What's going on? You good? Huh? What's up? Where are you? Okay, I'll call you right back. All right. Already 9 minutes. Okay, cool. So, what was I saying? So the open here, when we gap down close and then super bogus, and then what's it called? Strong push up on Monday, and then algorithmically you could see that gap here. We're speakering out here, and then we push up, and then right to the 25% here. Well, we first get to this daily imbalance. We bounce, get to the 25 above it, come below it, and then, pretty much dancing around it, imbalance there, pushes up to the 50%, dances around there, boom, shoots up in Asia, and then gets to the 25 here, and then sells off back to the 50, and now we're here. So, yeah, I mean, again, super bullish, general speaking. And let me see if I can go into a smaller time frame real quick. It's just so much, and I know this is a mess, Dan. I can't really adjust it right now. But in general speaking, today, specifically today, since this is my first day trading, what do you call it? We already had the price pushing up before 9:30. Now the price is here. The price has already hit that 25%. Okay, but the thing is that in this type of day, I'm looking for a pump then dump. Why? Well, yes, I would have liked to have sold here first to then buy for a dump pump. But the thing is, they're already up here. And then if you let 930, look at 930, shoots up, makes another high and a higher low, bounces on the 930. This inversion and this bullish imbalance are pretty much holding price at first. And then before even the trade, I sell this trade down in here. I'm highlighting this 15-minute imbalance to 7:30 a.m. today. Why? And you're going to say, why not this one next to it, the 7:45? I feel the 7:45, this is shallow, number one. Number two, opening range gap, the 50s over here. Number three, let me zoom out. That's a breakout level. See the previous day's high, which obviously would have been Tuesday. You see that high right there? Well, that is also in a vicinity of that 50%. I got this projected. Now here, check this out. This candle, this 9:30 15-minute candle, I've projected this a couple ways. Right now you're only seeing it projected with the body, right? Oh, whoops. I was doing something else. I had the body projected, and I had the whole candle projected. Okay, so to give you some context, let me go back to the body so you could see how I got the trade and what my logic was. For me, this is a refine situation, but this 15-minute candle, just so I can prove it, I guess. I'm already highlighting this in this area, okay? And at the time, I highlighted just the bodies itself. Remember, I understand where we are here. And what am I also doing here? Well, remember, when I said all this right here, as I'm looking for a pump then dump, well, it's because we're already up here. I mean, I'm not interested in buying here and holding that. That range is fucking small, okay? So when you do the projection here, take a look at here. See this range right here? I got it, these down candles, because this candle here made a new high from Tuesday's high, and then it came back in for a higher low, then pushed off, right? So this is a consolidation, expansion, and at the least, I'm selling this for a retracement, not reversal, just a retracement. And what does that look like? What you see me doing. Okay, but again, this is projected here, and you can see 2 to 2.5. I know the price is sitting at 2 to 2.5 when I take this sell. Take a look, it's damn near, you can see 50% where my entry is here. If I was to do 50% here and here, you'll see my entry is very close to that. How did I do this? Okay, well, first of all, I'm looking for the drives. So push up 1, push up 2, push up 3. I try to tag this and it takes me out when it comes up. I tag it again. This is how I get in this trade. What am I doing? Well, I know the first imbalance is here. We're using the 930 because it's opening above all these highs. But the second imbalance, if that wasn't the case, is this guy right here. Okay, so now to frame this, I understand that 930 has already tapped into this bullish imbalance right there. You can see that. But my minimum target is hitting this area. Why? I got done telling you this was shallow, and then I'm looking at this that 15-minute imbalance. I said 730, didn't I? And that's a breakout area. 50% opening range gap right here. And why am I circling up here? Because of the fact that it's liquidity here, and then this guy right here, this high that we broke through, right? We broke through that high and that high. Okay, so 101.5. You can see once the price, so obviously it had 4 drives, right? But in general, pushes down, that's a break of structure. So with that, and you're like, how did you hold this all the way to here and sat through this? That's the fucking game. Because when it changed the delivery from this 15-minute up candle that I got highlighted here, that I'm projecting, once we came down, which would be here, this area, once we broke through, that's a change of delivery, we retrace back. If you put a fib from here to here, you'll see that this is obviously at the 79. I'm not even measuring it. Obviously a little bit past 79 probably. But what's right there? It's a breakout level because of the fact that the candle pushed right through this. But the imbalance right there, very clear, tagging that 50%. So that might be the first imbalance, right? But in general, it doesn't matter. It's fine. But that's a lower high. So I'm sitting here. And when the price comes down and sweeps this 930 and the bodies are sitting here, I didn't like that. But at the same time, I knew that this was an objective. Plus this. Why here? Well, let's be very clear. We have a 2 to 2.5 there. We have the opening day gap right there in the red. All right. We have the sealment of this opening range gap right there. Oh, what's that level? Oh, that's the midnight level right there. Okay. And what's this 50% red line? It's the 50% of the daily imbalance that we're sitting in now. Okay. Plus, this is a sell model. Why? This is a consolidation. It's pushing up, and then they want to come back and wipe out liquidity. So that is the framework of this trade. Did you want to have it sell all the way back down here to this breakout level? That would be great. Is that realistic? No. And what was I going to say? But for today's price action and the smaller ranges that we're dealing with, you'll see that at 930, we tag it right in here. There's an imbalance right there. Man, there's so much to say, dude. I mean, I feel like... So anyways, you have that right there. And then the last up candle, that's a lower high if it's failed. And we're doing the retracement. And a retracement, you're looking for lower low and lower highs. Okay? So I had to sit through that. And then guess what? It popped up into here. The last candle right here. All right? Pops into there. That's a lower low and a lower high. Well, now I'm trying to make another lower low. And I'm trying to raid this. Look how it comes to that 15-minute imbalance that I talked about. And watch how it's influential later. We tag into it right here. See this? Tags it right there. Boom. Pops up. It was so fast I couldn't even get out if I wanted to and buy it. Because I had thought about doing that. But I was like, okay, whatever. Comes back up right to that last candle. And at this point, I'm like, man, what are you doing, bro? I'm like, just be done. Get the hell out. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the little, in the back of my head, you know, the little guy on my shoulder is like, yo, are you stupid? What are you doing? Why didn't you take the profit? Blah, 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 blah. But I understand, and you can see me being very clear that I have an objective that I understand that the algorithm is probably going to run to. So what did they do? They did that. So they popped up. All right, 930 again, falls off. Boom. I'm getting into London close. I want to be done with the trade. And that's what you see here. Now, take a look here. You'll see that this is influential later. I screenshot it literally like right here, right? And then what does it do? All right, a little control of price for a moment here. There's an imbalance right here, pretty much holds it. It's pretty much a breakout area. Boom, comes through. Yeah, there's so much to say, man. I mean, I don't know, bro. Oh man. And then you can see it holding there. Bodies are respecting right there. See that? See that? See, yeah, wicks out. Yeah, the 3 little guys right there. See that? And then boom, rushes more. Okay? Comes right back to that 15-minute imbalance. Obviously, if it's a bullish imbalance on the left side of the curve, then it's going to be used as resistance. Look at the 15-minute. 15-minute, you're gonna see the bodies right there. I'm talking about this area here right now. You see that? And then what's the objective? Well, they're coming lower. Well, they're coming lower with the drives, and they snap to to the opening day gap, right? And leaves it unsealed. Now, in this case, it could be very bullish in that case, but in general, when they don't seal it like that, most times in my experience, that they're gonna come back for it. And this is how they did it. They came up, back up for it, boom, oh, hit that 15-minute imbalance again. Why? Again, this was that breakout area from here, pushes through. So it's showing resistance and it's creating liquidity on the sell side, on the top side. Resistance and liquidity to sell down. What does it do then? Then we get this first imbalance, which is the 131 right there. See that? And you'll see me take a trade right to it. Why? Because it's algorithmic. What did they do? Boom, shot down. This was very hard to catch until they did this beautiful move with the 141 getting into 50% of the wick. See that? But where they rushed, if you were watching price, they rushed for that 50% plus this liquidity right here. Because remember, when you hit this level at the opening day gap right here and it bounced back up, obviously it's making a lower high. The 15-minute is very clear here. I want to draw this for you just so you can see it, so you can understand my logic here. I'm just going to do this real quick, just for example. Okay, so this, boom, that's a break. It already happened, but I'm just going to do it from here so you can see it on the 15-minute. And then see all this price action right here? This is all making the same lower low. Boom, stop. Now it's lower high. All that in between is just kind of finishing that drive. Lower high. Boom, lower low. See that? And then the drive up, you'll see we'll kind of shift above it now. I'm going to move this over because this is what I'm looking at. This is how I see it. It's not even how I see it. It's what it is. I mean, you see that right here? You can see that. So we come in, we break, we come back. All right. This is a model obviously on itself. As we talk about all this all the time. And then a shift back down for the drives, right? So the break is one shift. So back on the 1 minute, you can see this is a break. I usually don't count the break. Then I count the drives after. On the 1 minute, it's pretty ugly. On the 5 minute is a little bit smoother. And then 5 minutes are very good for noticing that what's in control. So, and the reason why I didn't freak out here, if you're wondering that, is because of this imbalance right here. See this 945? When we pushed back up, I understood that most likely we're going to be stuck in there. Bodies in there, yeah, they push up, but it was holding price. And then, okay, so that's your break right here. I usually don't count that. So this is push drive 1, comes up. All this is kind of like drive 2, pushes up, and finale. And then why am I taking this buy to here? Well, we obviously sealed and we took out liquidity as a sell model. Let me delete this. But you can see that, right? Oh my God. Okay, so and then they're rushing for this liquidity. Even when the day started at 9:30, I saw this as very suspect. But the thing is yesterday you would have had a rougher time. If you look at price action yesterday, they didn't go in. You're going to say, well, why didn't it come for this and then get into here? Well, because of the fact that they already, look at the 4 hour, they already pushed up hard. And when you see, and you have enough experience in this, you see that once they lock price like that, see, this is a breakaway imbalance. It doesn't get filled back in. And so is this. And that's the reason why. Why? Because they're coming up to wipe out liquidity to the left. And their goal is to rush to this upper half of that, right? So that's why you didn't get that here on this. If you look at 9:30, it's just bouncing around and just shot right to the 50. I mean, you can see that very clear. See, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. That's not like coincidence, right? So it's a bull flag, and you're sitting inside this imbalance, and it pretty much it's already holding. You can see it on the 1 hour more. Right there. See that guy right there? See this? See this? This 1 o'clock from Tuesday? This 1 1 a.m. right there? Asia? See how it's sitting in there? It's just accumulating. it's a bull flag. They're not coming back down. They don't want to give you a discount so you could buy it back up. They know it's bullish, especially when it broke through here. Most people are afraid to push buy here. And if they did, they reward them. So, but their agenda here is obviously, as it's coming and it's fanning out, it's using as support. It's not interested in coming back here. They've already got away with it. And then here, you're bouncing on top of it here. And then look at this 25%. Remember, we tagged that 25% originally. That was right before I left to vacation. And then that's to explain here why the price didn't come any lower. So then 50%, 25%, back to 50%. And then I'm saying all that to say the probability of us coming back into here, as in most people are having FOMO and they're pushing buy. And this is why I looked at a pump and a dump, because it's so up here. I wouldn't even be involved in this day if it was to have just kept buying. It's already fucking up here. So most likely for a pump and a dump, so push up rate, which is just a simple rate in trapping buyers, and then coming back down to wipe out the liquidity here, plus the the inefficiency and all that. And then what was I gonna say here? Oh, yeah, this price is, by the way, when I took that sell, is also in between the 2 and the 3 standard deviation too, right? Look at the body sitting very close. You gotta look at all these details. That's why I could talk all day long. It's just, these videos will be forever. And then, as you can see, resistance there pushes down. So real quick, so I can be done, and then I can go over the man, there's no way. So what was I doing here? All right, so price is bouncing around. You gotta let this seal here, and then what's it called? You can see that 50% idea that of taking this trade. And where is it going? I'm taking it right to that first imbalance that we've got highlighted. You can see that. And then obviously I'm pushing it up, and then the next target right after this would have been 50%. So as you can see, when I got it circled here with the green circle, why am I leaving that there? It's because of the fact that if you look at the high and the low and in this whole situation of the day, where's 50%? Just on this screen. If you just did 50% of this fucking screen, you'll see that it's sitting right here. I know that sounds crazy, but the point is that we went above, we went below. So this is a nice area here for price to come back to. Just I'm super ballparking it. But what I'm doing here, this is algorithmic, right? So I'm literally specifically saying when this drop happened, this happened at 130. Okay, this happened literally at 130 and it dropped. Okay, so they used that for the PM session. Now they're rushing. That's a schedule. And I'm buying this so I can get back into that right there, plus the 50%. You see me trying to squeeze it just so I can prove it and be done. I did not expect to get up here today at all. Okay, and as you can see, from oversold to a super overbought right there. I'm squeezing up and then I'm getting the fuck out, right? So I'm pretty sure that makes sense, and I'm definitely missed something. Dollar just gapping down now, and man, and I talked about this last weeks ago about this area right here that I said that they would want to take out that liquidity from support resistance guys right there. So, and then sure enough, we did that right when I took the vacation. We came in there. You see that? I know it's probably hard to see, dude, but I talked about this. We came down, we pushed back up, and then let me open up. So we pushed back up and we stopped, and now we came back down. So this is like, that's really bad for dollar. But at the same time, seasonality wise, and that's another conversation we're supposed to have, they'll probably push up in October. So let them do whatever they're doing. It doesn't matter. But this is keeping us up, that's for sure. And that's really nasty. All right. And then, oh God. And another reason why I was, looking for the sells as well, as I already had lower highs here. Does it look like that? I had lower highs here with Dow right here. And then we had higher highs here. And I was like, all right, this thing's probably going to sell off. Sure enough, we got it. So we sold off. I can't even go into all this, dude. Fuck me. um, um, ugh. I can't, dude. I can't. I can't. It's just too much. But here, lower high here with Dow, and then we had higher highs here. So continuing with the push down here, right? And let's see, nice little push back up here, higher lows here, and then we had lower lows here, lower lows there. But and take a look at S&P here. So again, when you're switching to this is Dow, I'm sorry, switching to U contractors, things change a little bit. But as you can see, we had that gap. It's a brand new chart, so I have not even drawn it. But um, I mean, the video is going to be long. It's going to be long. I don't know what to say, but I can't keep doing this. That's too much, dude. It's just too much for someone to keep doing this. Especially for free. But all right, as you can see, I was talked about that gap. Remember, we hit it first, and then there's still no body above it, and then boom, we had a body from Tuesday's trading for Dow, and yeah, that ended up working out. Still bullish there. And let me see, what else am I missing? Super ugly. And then S&P, obviously new highs as well, breaking through. So I mean, you know, obviously the objective is all time highs. With this kind of response, if we were in trouble, dude, there's no way the price should be up here this high. They want to slip the rug and sell it off from here. I doubt it. So going into the seasonality, that's what I wanted to talk about. From the 25th to the end of the month, we're supposed to have sold off and then hit a floor, which is kind of like in the middle, which is like the 27th, and then shoot straight up for July. Like the seasonality for July is literally straight up. So if I was to draw this, before I do that, speaker there on S&P, and S&P was definitely much harder to trade. And this is why I don't. This is a reason why I don't trade S&P, because of the fact that it's an average, and it's generally going to be more of a consolidation type of price action, or a range bound. So that's why I trade NAS. And obviously, you know why I don't trade Dow is because it's psycho. But other than that, let me go back into this. So the seasonality, if you have that, in your arsenal, we are expecting this type of movement. So we're literally expecting something like this. So either, I mean, okay, let me just do it the way I would like it to happen. Not saying it's going to happen, but this is what I would like to happen. There you go. There's nothing else I can say. And you're going to be like, dude, oh, you're such a genius. It's a higher high and a higher low. Yeah, it is. But we're getting the consolidation here, and then we get an expansion, which we just did, and then now we should get a sell-off to then hit the floor and come back up. The 15-year, the 5-year, and the 30-year all show that. The 5-year shows that it doesn't come this deep. The 5-year shows it's more like something like this, or even from here. But let's just say this. Okay, that's the 5-year. The 15-year and the 30-year, they show much deeper. 30-year comes down to here. Okay, 30-year comes down to here, and then the 15-year is not far off. So, okay, so that's what it is. I don't need to know any more than that. But then when July kicks in, it's gone. It's shooting the hell up. So that's it. That's all I can say. I'm not bearish at all. I'm not even going to give you a bearish example. So getting this high, I mean, if I was to give you a bearish example, I mean, it would literally, like, it would never get any higher, and we would. I'm going to do this on the weekly even. We would just, I'm not even going to talk about it. It's silly. But it would have to stop. And then, but yeah, that's not in the cards here. We're super bullish. And then last thing I'll mention is the majors. If you looked at Meta and Microsoft and Google and whatever, Tesla, Apple, Amazon, they all pulled back today, right? So they had pushed up, they all pulled back, and now they're kind of like sort of pushing up, or they're going to keep coming lower for that seasonality that I just gave you, and we'll see how that turns out. But there's that, yeah. And anything else I want to say here? Yeah, the war thing. To be honest with you, all that happened, this should have sold for like 12 hours. Like it should have continuously sold, and now they're talking about it's over with already. Like you're fucking crazy, scammers. So everything looks still strong again in a bearish situation, and we do have some craziness that comes out of nowhere. They're gonna sink this to hell, right? But I don't see that happening from here. All right, man. So I gotta get back on the phone with my wife. She called me, but yeah, I talked about all this, right? So yeah, this summer is gonna be little iffy, and but to be honest, I mean, you've already had amazing trading. I mean, dude, you've already had this sink down easily and push back up easily in the first part of the year. I mean, bro, that's easy. Honestly, I mean, to be honest, that's fucking easy. Yes, this is your first hard time you've ever had right here. And then as you see, it's just speakering out. Push up, push down, push up, push down. I mean, it's just a simple retracement, but I feel like I'm being a dead horse. You guys take care. God bless.